as much as I try to girl math it in my head and say that, oh my god, it's a steal for, you know, example, $20. For 2 products, it's breakdowns $10 each. Win, girl math, worth, buy it. Ooh, wait, I don't need this. Stop. Finally, into 20 different shades. It's a little bit controversial, might ruffle some feathers. Why did it take so long though? Welcome to the first ever What's New in K-Beauty for 2025. How have you been? I hope your year is going well so far. Today we're going to be talking about all the new releases that's come out for the month of January, as well as trickle back into December a little bit, because I think I did miss out a couple of releases here and there, and you know what, I thought like, okay, the brands are going to be sleeping, it's going to be a little bit chill for the start of the year. No, I was wrong. We're starting off the year really strong with a lot of new releases from bigger brands, so super excited to yap about it with you guys, and without further ado, let's get into it. Shall we backtrack a little bit and talk about one of the earlier releases in late December? This one from 3CE, this is their Switch On Blush Lighter. Experience the full spectrum with 7 shades, 1 blush lighter, endless looks, blush only, or blush and highlighter combo. So when I first saw the product images appearing on my timeline, right, I was like, ooh, okay, interesting, because 3CE is very well known for their single blushes. I have 2 of those. I think it's the peach one and City Mauve or Mauve City, I can't remember. And I saw like, okay, a new blush from them, maybe the formula will be pretty similar to the single individual blushes. So it's about 60% blush, 40% highlighter in the pan, and I think that's a pretty good ratio. And when I started seeing the color stories and I was like, you know, swatching, swiping, the word didn't come to my head, swiping the different colors, right, I was like, okay, this is a little bit boring, I don't really find it too appealing, until I saw the color Early Now. I think that one is, you know, very attractive to me right now, because let's see, Lazy Talk, Beige Hour, Slick, I think those colors are pretty common in other K-beauty brands. Maybe What If as well, you know, like the lavender, pale, ashy kind of colors. A lot of brands do those kind of colors. Coral Flush is actually surprisingly very orange. I didn't expect such an orange shade from a Korean beauty brand. And then the complementary highlighter itself, it does kind of look like it has like a silvery blue hue to it. So I was like, ooh, okay, very interesting. And then when at closer look, right, I realized that all of the highlighters had a different shade to it. It's a little bit colorful. It's not just a plain peachy pink, champagne, silver white, that kind of thing. I mean, for the more neutral, safer colors, the highlighters are those kind, like, you know, the beiges, whites, pinks kind of thing. But Coral Flush, What If's highlighter looks kind of like a tinted mint or aqua mint. So I was like, wow, that is okay, 3CE, bringing in the color a little bit. Early Now's highlighter is like a light lavender, so lavender highlighters, depending on your makeup and depending on the actual formula of the highlighter itself, it really depends. Is it going to be a very sheer hint of lavender, or is it going to be like an intense strip of lavender purple on your cheek? Yeah, so it really depends. I'm really curious about this, honestly. I can't seem to find any price on this blush highlighter. A little bit of a shame. And then I saw the color chart for the blush lighters. Early Now is the one and only blush duo that is in the corner for Cool Dark, and that is the equivalent of Winters. And then it just like hits me that I have a sneaking suspicion that I like cool winter makeup, not as much as cool summer. I don't know, there's something about winter makeup that appeals to me a lot, and I don't know, I might have changed to a winter tone. That's just me, because I realize that whenever I do these like What's New in K-Beauty, right, I keep picking winter pick makeup, so I was like, Anyway, yapping too much, moving on. Can I also add, I absolutely love how the blush is looking like on the models, the heavy blush in the middle underneath the eyes. It's a look. I really like it a lot. And it's supposed to mimic, you know, the placement of like sunburnt kind of look, but with it being like a cool pink, I really dig that look. Oh my gosh. I might want to try a makeup look like that one day. When I look at MIDI Hype that's sitting right smack in the middle, supposedly a neutral for everything, right? I feel like that color looks a little bit warm. And then we have Beige Hour, right? I feel like Beige Hour should sit in the middle of warm and cool. Maybe it's like neutral, but maybe on the lighter side. Because Beige Hour really looks like a neutral beige. So I'm just like, a little bit conflicted. I really want to see people actually swatching it on their hands. I know 3CE did do like arm swatches and all that, and I can identify which one is Early Now. Early Now really does look quite obvious and deeper tonally as well. So, adding that to my maybe wish list, maybe, because girl, I do not need another highlighter. I swear, you don't need another highlighter as well. Oh, not highlighter, blush. Also, I'm thinking about my makeup style as well, because as much as I try to girl math it in my head and say that, oh my god, it's a steal for, you know, example, $20. For two products, it's breakdowns $10 each. Win, girl math, worth, buy it, you know? Sometimes we think like that, okay? But I realize I don't really use highlighter in my makeup routine. Can you find something like that in your makeup collection right now, or something similar of that vibe? Nowadays, I like to keep everything matte. Today, it's a full matte look. There's really not a sliver of shimmer on my eyes. Maybe like the eyeliner, but it's like barely noticeable. Yeah, I don't think I need this. I think. And also coming out from 3CE really soon. There's no release date yet for this one. This one is their XL eyeshadow palette. 25 shades. That is a humongous palette in today's economy, okay? We are so used to the tiny 9 pan, 4 pans, 12 pans. 25 pans is like double the eyeshadow. Oh my gosh. And I am pretty sure this is going to be a pretty penny to pay for. I'm not surprised if this is going to cost about close to $100 or 100,000 won. Objectively speaking about like the color story of it, I think that 3CE is also trying to push for color, and you can see the colors example for the pastels. You got a light yellow, light green, light blue, light purple. I think it's pretty innovative, to be honest. I wish there was like maybe something else. This whole color story really reminded me of, I think, Huda Beauty. She had those like little 9 pan palettes, and I know she had like I think a mint, a pastel, lavender, and I can't remember what is it. I'm pretty sure there was also a blue one. Might be wrong, but the vibe is so similar, and the majority of the shades, I would say maybe a good 70% of the shades in this 3CE palette, right? They are light, medium. You have a couple of deeper, darker mattes or dark shimmers to kind of deepen up your looks, which I like. I like there's still the fact that you have like a khaki brown, a plummy wine color. Truthfully speaking, I don't hate this. It's very interesting to see Korean beauty brands dip their toes into color, and I think it's also a trend as well. We've seen Wake Make do this, Bia do this, now 3CE as well, where when they try and do color, they would usually take the shimmer shade, turn it into the palest, ashiest, lightest wash of mint, aqua, lavender, pale pink, and then that's your color, that's your pop of color, essentially. And I guess it kind of makes sense as well, because keep in mind, Korean beauty brands, most of the time they are trying to like appeal to the East Asian beauty standards, and usually for East Asian beauty standards, no one is going to wear like hot pink on their eyes, or you know, something very loud. I'm using the term very loosely over here. So I guess this kind of fits into East Asian beauty standards. Would I prefer to see something a little bit more different in terms of color story, instead of like 50 shades of pinks and pastels and lack of depth? Yeah, I think so. I think this palette, it's going in the right direction of, you know, color, something different, and also 25 shades. Wow, that's a lot. You will never be able to finish that whole eyeshadow palette. Trust me, okay? This is coming from someone who owns, I think almost 100. I'm pretty sure I own about 100 eyeshadow palettes. you'll never be able to finish. Unless this is your one and only eyeshadow palette, maybe. But if not, 25 eyeshadow palettes. That's a lot. Moving on to Clio. Oh, girl, Clio released quite a bit of stuff. My gosh. We have the new Water Soda Tint 5 colors. You have 1 Red Splash, 2 Berry Fizz, 3 Tangerine Pop, 4 Sparkling Plum, and 5 Icy Mauve. When I saw the colors, I was like, okay, this is same color story, again, coming from Clio. I love Clio. You guys know that I love Clio. I love their long, fix, super proof mascara. But when it comes to their color cosmetics, it's always the same shades of a little bit like, not say neon, but it's always the same range of colors and it's that same level of saturation. And it's getting a little bit boring. It kind of reminds me of, you know, Etude, when they do lip products, it's always the same colors as well. And I find that Clio is falling into the trap of it, which I don't like. I'm going to be so real and say that I'm also a little bit wary, especially of buying any Korean water tints that promises even staining that's going to last throughout the entire day. It's going to give you the, you know, water stain texture. Because of the Rom&nd Bear water tints, or water bear tints. I can't remember which way or the other. I know one version is the Rom&nd version and the other one is the Peripera version of it. I'm talking about the Rom&nd version of it. I did a whole review of that. I was so... that lip tint looks horrendous on me. It cracked my lips so badly. So this is giving that same energy. I definitely am going to skip on it. Also, the colors are not really up my alley, so easy pass. And Clio is also releasing 6 new highlighters, the Prism highlighters. This one is already a pre-existing highlighter line, but I believe they have updated the formula and repackaged it. Come out with new shades. I think this is coming out on the 27th of January, if I'm not wrong. So I think by the time this comes out, maybe wait a couple of days and it will be out by then. So we have number 1, Gold Sheer, which is a golden beam that shines like pearls. Number 2, Pink Fairy, a sparkling point pink beam with a distinct presence. Number 3, Frozen Crystal, is surprisingly a cool icy blue beam that glitters with a whitish blue hue. Interesting, on the product swatch itself, or the pictures that's posted on Clio Official, it looks like a whitish pink to me. Number 4, Grace Opal, a lovely and natural cream pink beam that shines softly. Number 5, Peach Sapphire, a warm sun-kissed orange peach beam that shines like sunlight. Number 6, Violet Ruby, a dreamy light purple beam that glows with a mystical shine. I actually do own Gold Sheer, the very, very first iteration of their Prism highlighters. Is it just me, or does Frozen Crystal look a lot more chunkier in texture compared to the rest of the shades? It has that very strong white base with that little reflex of pink to it, but the shimmers are kind of silvery in color. I definitely can see Peach Sapphire looking really, really nice on someone with deeper skin tone though. Ooh, wait, I don't need this. Stop. This is so dangerous. Oh my gosh. This one, the Prism Air, I got this when I was in Polytechnic, so maybe back in 2018-ish. Yeah, I still have it with me, my god. And I would say that the shine of this, okay, this is definitely not the same product, okay, but just to give you an idea of it, the shine of this is probably on the same level as like the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Breezy highlighter. Girl, if you know, you know, this is prehistoric as well. This highlighter is golden sheen. And this one definitely much more smoother, but the reflectiveness of these two, they were pretty much on par. I did a video on it before. It was like the birth of my channel. It's like my first few videos. I talked about this highlighter actually, so I would not recommend you to go and watch it because the editing in there sucks big time. It's very embarrassing. Do not watch it, okay? I'm no better than a crow. I see sparkly pretty things, I'm like, ooh, I like that. But in all seriousness, I genuinely don't need this. Genuinely don't need it. Okay, this next one, I saw it coming. I knew it was gonna happen. they are going to be expanding the Clio Kill Cover Found Wear Cushion, the original foundation shade range. Finally, into 20 different shades. This is only available on Amazon in January. I believe this should be available soon. Let me check for you. Kill Cover Found Wear Cushion, the original 20 shade. Meet us at January 20th on Amazon. There's a promotional period between January 27th to February 2nd. The special launch price, $25, there'll be 15% off, it'll be $21.25. Air cushion with long-lasting freshness without darkening or oxidizing. Lightweight adherence for a fresh, natural look that lasts all day long. This is supposed to give an airy satin finish. The shade range for this runs from 17W all the way to 45C. So I think that they did quite a good job with expanding the shade range, but there are definitely gaps that need to be filled in between. I'm glad that finally more people are able to try out Clio's cushions and their base makeup, their foundations. I'm a huge fan. I love Clio cushion foundations. I've done multiple reviews about them. You guys can go check that one out as well. However, I do have a critique, and I did put it into a short. I mentioned it very briefly, but okay, I guess I'll say it now. It's a little bit controversial, might ruffle some feathers. Why did it take so long though? Why did it take, I think, almost like a decade or more for Korean beauty brands to finally start to expand their shade range, when I feel like Korean beauty all along has been quite popular internationally, even back in the early 2010s. I think back in the early 2010s, the shade range was even more horrendous. And you can say it's progress and whatnot have you, but I feel like once Fenty Beauty launched, back I think in 2016 with that whole inclusive shade range, and she really like set the bar, right? I feel like a lot of Western beauty brands really started to take in the note of like inclusivity and all that. Maybe it's because we're talking about two different markets, the Asian market and Western market, and maybe Asian brands are like, we don't really care, we just want light skin, pale, whitewash. Why did it take only for Tier to release their Red Fit mask cushion with like 40 over shades, right? And then every brand was like, hey, they are doing super duper well, selling like hotcakes internationally because it went viral. People just wanted to try a true Korean cushion that was inclusive, and people bought it regardless whether it was good or bad for them. They didn't care. They just wanted to have that option to try out a cushion foundation. And now we are seeing the inclusivity with other Korean beauty brands. It's good and sad. It's like a bittersweet kind of thing in my eyes. Maybe I just like to complain. Maybe there's some like back-end technical resource thing that I'm not aware, that doesn't, maybe like the dark pigment doesn't mix with like whatever technology it is to create a cushion. I don't know, okay? There's a lot of nuances to it that me as a consumer that I might not know at all, but I just find it really, in my eyes at least, it's bittersweet, yeah. Setting that whole chunk aside, objectively speaking, reviewing, like talking about Clio cushions in general, I would say based off my experience, I have always had a good time with the Clio cushions. I must say that they do reformulate their foundations, cushion foundations, very, very often. And I have done multiple like generation reviews of the Clio Kill Cover cushions. I would give it maybe every 1.5 years or so, Clio would reformulate. It's a new version of it that's out right now. And it's a little bit hard to keep up because they always keep changing the names and all that kind of stuff. However, I must note that every single new reformulation of the cushion foundations, I will always notice that the formula gets better and better, more lightweight, better adherence, and I think this is definitely going to be one of them. My current one that I have is the one in the little black square compact. I don't have this white compact one because I'm just trying to go through all of my cushion foundations. I have a lot and I don't need any more cushion foundations unless they expire or something. Then maybe I will check this out. But I have a feeling by the time I finish all of my cushion foundations, I will have probably gone to the next generation after this cushion foundation. Now, speaking from the point as a light olive how do I feel about the cushion foundation shades, right? They pull either very pink or either very yellow. And that's like very typical of Korean brands. Normally in Clio cushion foundations, I would go for their shade Linen, which is 21N, I believe, in this current lineup. So if you want that for a point of reference, yeah, my shade is normally 21N. Another new release from Clio, my god, it's a lot. You have the Crystal Glam tint in 4 new colors, inspired by the freshness of apples: 17 classic apple, 18 fresh apple, 19 baby apple, and 20 vanilla apple. What do you guys think? I'm very torn about it because I do like the packaging of it. The little apple in the cap is a very, very cute touch. For some reason, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of apples, to be honest. I used to love them as a kid, but then as I grew older, for some reason, I don't know why. Sometimes when I eat apples, after a while, I feel like throwing up. And then I do throw up. I have no idea why. When I thought of apple theme, I was kind of expecting different undertones of red, and I thought that would be actually very interesting. You have like your blue red, your deep burgundy darker red, you have something that is like a fire truck red, that kind of thing. Instead, it's kind of like reds, pinks, peaches, and maybe one coral. Oh my god. You know, for number 20, the vanilla, is it called the vanilla apple one? Yeah, vanilla apple. I thought that was going to be like a brownish, apple color. I'm like, oh, that's quite nice. Like, if that color on the cap was on the lips, can you imagine? That would be such a cute color. But instead, it's kind of like a beigey coral color. I don't hate this color, to be honest. It's a little bit too light to my preference, but something that is tonally deep like that, I think that'd be cute. I do own one of the Crystal Glam tints, and I occasionally do reach out for it, and I can see why people love it a lot. It's actually a really good quality lip tint. I realized I never did a dedicated lip tint review for that. Maybe I should one of these days. I have so many things that I would love to film, like a dedicated long form video to it. But your girl's a one woman show. Yes, a lot of things to film. YESSTYLE is collaborating with the popular Netflix series Squid Game 2, and they have this limited edition collection. It's called the Red Light Yonghi, and it's already launched December 27, and this is truly limited edition. Honestly, I like it. I don't usually see Korean dramas collaborating that much with makeup brands. Maybe it's also because that I don't really watch Korean dramas. I do watch Squid Game, and I have watched season 2 of it. Honestly, if you're gonna ask me, I prefer season 1. Maybe it's just the whole sick thrill of it that I really enjoy. But season 2, I didn't really find that much joy in watching. I was like, oh, okay, I'm just watching for the sake of watching, if you want to know. Also, Lee Ha-jun is so hot. I'm just saying. Lee Ha-jun, the man that you are. Anyway, moving on to the makeup itself, there are quite a number of things in this collection over here. You get the eyeshadow palette. I believe this is number 24 Bloody Game, their 16 pan eyeshadow palette, and it's a very beige with a hint of red. I actually like the idea of it. However, I wish there was more red in the eyeshadow palettes because it's giving, there's really not much to it, honestly. Oh god, I'm so sorry. It's like a warmish peach, I guess. Maybe when I think of Squid Game, I think of the blood word, right? I'm thinking of deep dark reds, something like this palette from Colourpop. I don't even know if Colourpop actually makes this palette anymore, but this is what I'm wearing on my eyes today, something like this deep red, something like this red in the Oden's Eye Norns collection, like this red, right? Something that's deep and punchier and a little bit more gory, I guess, but in order to make it wearable and easy for people to wear, I guess I can understand why. And then I think that's the pop of color. The rest of the shades are peaches, beiges, browns. We've seen that already, but I do appreciate that it's the tonal range of the eyeshadow palettes. You have light mattes, medium tone mattes, and a dark, maybe light, maybe medium dark brown, not a dark brown, it's just like a medium dark brown. So that's that. And then I think you have lipsticks as well. First up, we have the Sheer Blurring Matte Lipstick in 2 limited edition colors. You have number 8 Hush Noun and number 9 Sand Play. Honestly, I really like the color of number 8. That color is saturated enough, but I mean, it does look like every other basic, I didn't say basic B, but it is a basic B pink. That's a hint more punchier, just a hint. Sand Play is actually a really nice nudie beige, but I realized on me personally, colors that are very pale nudes or washed out like this, it just doesn't work for me. I can't wear colors like this alone by itself. I know some people who can. I can't, so I'm easily passing on this. But the Sheer Blurring Matte Lipstick actually looks pretty nice. Like the finish of it looks really nice on the model's lips. And then you also have the Over Blurring Pot in 2 new shades. You have number 12 Yonghi Pink, and I think number 13 is Blood Red, if I am not wrong. I am trying to see the cap of it with the name on it. Yeah, it's Blood Red. And we still have one more lip product, and it's their Dewy Gel Maxi Gloss in 2 new colors. Number 14, which is a Mute Rose Pink, which resembles the complexion of red skin. Number 15 is Dark Red with a classic and lonely mood. Ooh. Honestly, the glosses look really nice. Number 15 though, number 15 looks like actual, like blood. Like that is what I kind of expected, to be honest. Ooh, that looks really pretty. Why aren't K-beauty brands releasing a lip tint in number 15 shade though? Like that kind of deep dark red. Ooh. I think that would be pretty, right? Right? Oh my god. But I don't really like wearing glosses personally, so I think that's a easy pass for me. But if not, if you're a gloss girl, I think that's very pretty. I think you should check that out, honestly. It's a shame that they made it a limited edition. Number 14 is called Pink Scar. Number 15 is Solid Blood. I think the reason why Wig managed to secure this kind of collaboration makeup inspired by Netflix Squid Game, right, is also for the fact that Wig is actually owned by OLIVEYOUNG. So it's like OLIVEYOUNG's brand, but we didn't even know. I didn't even know. Only until recently did I find out, because I was watching Robert Welch's video, and then he said like, yeah, Wig is owned by OLIVEYOUNG. I'm like, huh? Really? I didn't even know. Oh my gosh. I think this whole limited edition collection, right, it is very cute. However, I must say that I don't love Squid Game enough to buy makeup because of Squid Game. Oh my god, I've been yapping for like almost hour and a half. I don't know how much edited Crystal have edited the whole video down, but you guys will have seen it. Moving on to Peripera, we have a new collection from them. It's called their Soft Berry collection. You have the Ink Mood Glowy Tint in 3 new shades, Ink Blasting Lip Gloss in 3 new shades, Pure Blush Sunshine, oh my god, English, Pure Blushed Sunshine Cheek in 2 new shades, and Ink Pocket Shadow Palette in 2 new shades. This is already available, so you guys can go and check this one out. Oh my gosh, I am so glad that they released new shades of the Ink Mood Glowy Tints. 30, 31, 32. Oh my gosh, we're at 30 already with the Ink Mood Glowy Tints. That's insane. The 3 new shades with the Ink Mood Glowy Tint is number 30, Happy Berry, 31, Honorable Berry, 32, Go-Go Berry. Oh my god, looking at the little like hand swatch thing. What's that one on the thumb here? 30? Yo, 30 looks cute. Oh my gosh, it looks muted. I wish K-beauty brands did more muted shades like this. Very similar to like the 3CE Blush Lighter, that shade. The one that I really like. That with this, I think it would be really cute together as a duo. Wait, I need to swatch this in stores. The other 2 are cute. I do like 32. 32 reminds me of a lip gloss, a MAC lip gloss that my late mom actually bought for me. But vivid colors like this might be a little bit too intense for me, but muted colors like 30. That one is a lot more my speed, and if I do see that in stores at Watson's, I'm swatching it, and if it's really pretty, I'm buying it because I really do like the Ink Mood Glowy tint. The other day, I found my first ever Ink Mood Glowy tint, the Best Beige Menu #1, the very first shade, and that's already a discontinued shade. And I know Peripera brought it back for like, a split second, and then it just flew off the shelf, so I never got my hands on it. And yeah, I'm about to finish that tube, so very sad. But if they ever make that permanent, I might repurchase Best Beige Menu, making sure that they keep it in that same shade, not tweaking it with like increased saturation in pinks or like beiges. I just want that color. That color is so stinking pretty. And then the little quartz, the eyeshadow palettes, right? Number 7, this is truly in Korean now, not even in Konglish. 햇빛 받은 제철 봄달기. I don't know what that means. I might even be reading it wrongly a bit. Well, you have 4 shades, but you can kind of mix things up according to that like last swatch at the corner. Actually, this looks like a very cute strawberry milk kind of vibe, but definitely not my color story for sure. I don't really like to wear pinky cute kind of makeup like that. I don't really like pink shadows like this. And then for number 8, I think this is the more muted but a little bit pinkish at the same time. Number 8, 뮤트에 받친 달기. Definitely reading it wrong. Somebody is going to crucify me in the comments. I can feel it coming already. It's actually a really nice kind of travel palette, to be honest. I actually really like the color story. Granted, it's like, 4 shades of brown. It's definitely not the most inspiring, but a color palette like this, I think it would be nice to bring for traveling. But for me personally, I have more than enough eyeshadow palettes. I don't need anything new eyeshadow palettes from them. Can I just say that I have never ever once tried out a Peripera eyeshadow palette. I wanted to say, like, in my whole entire career, in my whole entire, life interested in Korean beauty and all that, I have never tried a Peripera eyeshadow palette. It's kind of wild to me. I think I wanted to pick up one when I was in Korea that time. Oh my god, I keep referencing to that time when I went to Korea. But yeah, I remember trying out and swatching out the eyeshadow palettes. I felt pretty underwhelmed by it, and I think that just kind of stuck with me throughout. And then for the pure blush cheeks, you have number 26, 달달베리해. I'm not really sure what 달달 means, but it's kind of like that beigey color with a hint of warmth. I must say, I was about to say like, oh my god, this is such a boring color, an easy pass. But actually, the color, at least when it's swatched on the model, it actually looks really nice. I love to pair a blush like this with a cool tone like blue eyeshadow. Pairing it with this, it's a look. Like, you would think like, oh my god, cool tone eyeshadow, warm blush, that sounds like a little bit crazy, a little bit scary. But honestly, I highly recommend mixing up undertones, because sometimes with like a warm brown blush, especially that is on my lighter complexion, it can look a little bit off because the eyes are already like so cool, and then if you have something darker in tone and warm on the cheeks when I'm already an olive undertone, a cool olive undertone, it can look very off-putting at times. So colors like this that are like a hint of warmth that is still beige, safe beige, very easy to pair with and match. So actually I don't mind that color, but I'm not getting it. I have, again, more than enough blushes. And then we have number 27, 달기 수확해. Might be reading that wrong. I think 달기 is like strawberry. I'm assuming 달기, right? I think so. This one is more of like that milky strawberry milk kind of color. This one leans, I think, definitely, like we've known the pattern by now. One warm, one cool. This is the cool tone version. And another new release coming out from Peripera, the Syrup Top Cheek. You have 5 shades. So this one is a pure liquid blush, and it's releasing on the 3rd of February. So coming really soon. And you have, your peachy corals, your pinks, your beiges, and then you have a red. Like a, not say like cherry red, but maybe like a pinky red. which is your 5th shade. Again, it's all in Korean. I don't want to keep butchering the names. I think, okay, let me try. 생기, 포문, 복숭아. That one I don't know. 포도, 우유, recipe. I think number 2 is grape milk recipe. Yes. I'm not a failure after all. 애장만당 모부. Number 3 is something like mauve. Number 4 is 학생 가족 화과. Number 5, 쿨한 사과 얌얌. Apple Yum Yum. Oh my god, actually quite cute. Oh my god, the name is adorable. Based off the images and like swatches I'm seeing, right, the finish of it looks like one of those like dewier finishes. Low-key, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Melinda liquid blushes, the Thai liquid blushes that I really, really like. It's kind of similar in terms of the texture. I'm really, really curious to see how this will actually feel like on the skin. It does look very, very pretty though. Ooh, this one I'm going to keep an eye out. And I love the fact that the packaging is in a little squeezy tube as well. It's so much easier to travel with, and you can throw it anywhere. It's not going to spill. And then you have one of those like twist-on caps. Yeah, I actually really like it. Wow. Okay, this one I'll keep an eye on. I say I don't need any more liquid blushes, but hey, this one's interesting. And we also have a new release upcoming soon from Rom&nd. This is their, what's it actually called? It's like a squeezy tube that is a matte lip. Ooh, I'm not really sure what's it going to be called. I think it's called Putty. I don't know. There's not really a name to it just yet. It just says it's a new texture. Coming soon on the 23rd of January. I think by the time you see this, you probably would know what's it called. Apparently this is back after 6 years. Really? The Rom&nd had a squeezy tube that was matte in texture? Oh? That's very interesting. Okay. Maybe the Blur Matte lips from Rom&nd, the lip tint? Maybe, I don't know, but okay, very interesting to see. I love the fact that the packaging nowadays are getting a little bit more travel friendly, because no more glass stuff, please, because I think I'm going to break anything any moment. So squeezy tubes like this is very travel friendly. Based off what I'm seeing, I don't have much information. Maybe I'll throw in like more clips for you to see if I have any more information. But for me, I really don't know much aside from maybe like a couple of pictures and texture swatches. Lip primer on lips matter, giving a new look by adding some color. Cool and new color lip matte. With a matte texture like never before, I'm coming for you. Okay, that's a bit aggressive. I do like the tone of it. It looks rather muted and toned down. Something that's, you know, that bit of grayish undertone to it. Hopefully it's not the video filter over it, but you know what? Promising. I hope there are more like arm swatches or something so that I can have more information in the future. And from Dasique, we have the Pure Water Lip Gloss in 14 colors. Volume up, shine like dew. Oh my god. I saw the little packaging of it. I'm like, this is so cute. It kind of reminded me of Little Twin Stars, but makeup form. This is so cute. I love it. And I think there are 14 shades, right? From number 1 to number 7 is for warm tones, and number 8 to 14, it's cool tones. What do you guys think? Oh my god. Honestly, looking at the lip swatches itself, they all kind of gave a very similar vibe, very similar colors. It's like too close to one another, I feel. Like, for example, is this... I don't know. Is this number... I don't know which one. I'm looking at my phone, but this one and this one, like these two, they look so similar to one another. Like from afar, can you really tell they're different shades? I don't know. But obviously, the product pictures themselves or the lip swatches videos, lip swatch images, they are definitely photoshopped a little bit to, you know, look a little bit, you know, appealing. That's normal. That is very normal, especially in the media industry. If they had more bigger variation or differences between them, maybe I will get it. I wish Dasique did something that is like, you know, deeper in tone. Like that Wake Make Bloody Lip color, that one was nice, but this one, it's a bit too light of a wash. I like the fact there's like some color to it. It's good for those people who don't like to wear a lot of like makeup, that kind of vibe. You want to seem like you're woke up like this, or you have naturally healthy looking lips. You like that kind of vibe, then I think you can definitely go for this. But for me personally, I think I lit a little bit more oomph, a little bit more color and saturation to it, and also something that's a tad bit tonally deeper. Because for me, I have rather grayish pale lips, and sometimes with these light washes of gloss colors, right, sometimes they barely add anything to my lips, and then the ashiness of my lips just peek through, obviously, or it just shines through. It retail for about 18,000 won, so plus minus is about 18, 19 US dollars. The price will fluctuate a little bit depending on where you get it. It's not the most expensive, neither is it the most affordable. I feel like Dasique prices all along, they never have been like the most affordable, cheapest K-beauty brand out there. But they are not, say, like very, very expensive either, or like crazy expensive, like luxury prices. So I think this is still acceptable to me. And I think that's all of the new makeup releases that I love to talk about. If there are any new makeup releases that I didn't get to, or some things just pop up right after I'm in the midst of editing, I'll throw the images here for you to see. I realized that in my last few episodes, when I did the last minute additions of images, I don't have enough time to show y'all the full range of images. So, editing Crystal, I hope this is enough time. Yes? Yes? No? I don't know. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of What's New in K-Beauty. Let me know what's on your makeup wish list, and I will see you guys in another video of mine, which you can check out over here.